Hey everyone, hope you're doing okay. Hope everybody's feeling okay. Hope you got enough supplies at home. Hope your family's doing okay. Hope you're doing okay. I'm going to be talking about our reading for today. First, I want to start with I hope your reading is going good and that you're developing this habit. Let me share a verse from yesterday. I thought that kind of stuck out to me. It was Psalms 9, verse 10. It says, "Those who know your name trust in you, for you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you." Isn't that a great passage? It's a great reassurance that those that are following the Lord and we place our trust in Him, that He never lets you down. He doesn't, that He will never forsake us. And so it gives us great confidence to live every day. So great reading. Today we're going to be reading about we're going to be reading through Psalms 10 through 2 and also Luke 9 and 10. And Psalms 10 is about God's concern for the helpless, especially those under oppression. And it begins right out with people crying out for help. In Psalms 10 verse 1, "Why, Lord, do you stand far off? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble?" Isn't that what you feel like when you're in the middle of the crud? And you're crying out to God, "Where are you? Where are you in this position?" Then the psalmist goes out and explains that God's right there alongside those that are dealing with stuff. Psalms 11 shows the writer's confident trust in God's righteous rule in time when people are being oppressed, especially with the enemy all around them. Again, one of the ones that it's kind of a surprising verse because it says that God hates something. We don't think God hates anything, but it does say God hates something. It says Psalms 11:5, "The Lord examines the righteous, but the wicked, those who love violence, He hates with a passion." He hates people that are violent. He hates it with a passion. So that's kind of a surprising text. And then Psalms 12 is a lament about the unfaithfulness of God's people. The writer sees it all around him that they don't respect God. They kind of live any way that they want to live, and he's very frustrated by that. But I want you to note when you read that psalm who God really sticks up for and who God really seeks out to help. It's the poor and the helpless. And you'll see that over and over in the Psalms and in the Proverbs about God's compassion for the poor. In Luke 9 and 10, there's a lot of great stories, and there are too many to discuss. But in this section, Jesus predicts his death twice. And it's kind of interesting because his disciples have no clue what he's talking about. They still don't get it. But Jesus predicts his death twice. And he also challenges his disciples. He kind of ratchets it up the pressure that where their commitment's going to be. And this is where we read about denying yourself, carrying your cross daily, and follow me. Jesus says that in 9:23. He says that's the kind of commitment that's going to take to be a disciple of Christ. Jesus will one day show them what that means when he ultimately goes to the cross. Now, the key theme, I think, throughout these two, through 9 and 10, is that he's training his disciples. He's getting them ready for his departure. And so he sends out first the 12, and he gives them power to cast out demons and heal people. And then a little bit later, we read that he sends out 72 others, gives them the same power to carry out God's kingdom work. And so it's all in preparation for what's going to be taking place after he's gone. Here's a cool note. I call it a cool note, but a cool insight. In Luke 9, verse 28 and 36, you're going to read about the transfiguration of Christ. That's when Jesus, along with Peter, John, and James, goes up to a mountain, and Jesus was praying. The other disciples fell asleep, but then Jesus changed. It says that his face changed appearance, and that his clothes was as bright as lightning. And then it says Moses and Elijah appeared, and they spoke to him about his departure, which was about to bring fulfillment at Jerusalem. So these three disciples had been sleeping. They wake up and they notice what's taking place, and they want to build 3 shelters for these 3 people, these powerful people, and Jesus says, "No, you don't get it." So I want you to, the cool note is this. I just want you to know who it was. The first one was Moses. Moses was the great lawgiver. He was the one that delivered the people of Israel out of bondage, but he also gave the people the law. And Elijah represents all the prophets of the Old Testament that try to draw people back to God. And so very, very powerful figures. And here they're talking with Jesus about what's going to be happening in his life. Now, what's interesting about this is this, that Moses started the process of deliverance, but it was Joshua that finished that task. Elijah's successor was Elisha, and he finished the work of Elijah. So Joshua, and then you have Elisha, which is just another form of Joshua, and then you have Jesus. In Hebrew, that's a Greek word. Jesus' name in Hebrew is Joshua. 3 Joshuas. And Joshua means Yahweh is salvation. And so isn't that interesting? God's used that name throughout the generations to bring salvation to his people. And it says in Luke 9, verse 31, they spoke about his departure, which he was about to bring to fulfillment in Jerusalem. That word departure in the Greek is exodus. Jesus is here to lead a new exodus. But this time he's going to lead an exodus to help his people overcome sin in their life. And the ultimate act of the exodus is the cross. They came to talk with him about the cross and about the great work that Jesus came to complete what they had been doing way back when. So what a great insight. Enjoy reading that section. There's other great stories there as well. Mary and Martha, and Mary being too busy to spend time with Jesus. The Good Samaritan you're going to read about. Who's the greatest in the kingdom? Great section, great stories. Help you have a great time with the Lord. Blessings, everybody. Hope you're doing okay.